Okay, so to access your workouts, we're going to do a run through of what this looks like and how to operate your app. Click on your app there, your yellow tab there. Now yours might look a little different just because it might be white instead of black. Mine's just set for black. Towards the bottom there, you'll see that we're on the training tab. You won't have a home tab. That's more for the coach level. In the bottom right corner, you'll see a little picture that says me, or it might just have your initials on there. That's where you can operate any of your changes that you want to make in your settings. If you click on the gearbox on the top right, it has all of your information here. As for your training, under the training tab, this will show your workouts for the day. Under chat, that's where you can chat directly with me. You won't have all these different ones. It'll just have your ability to chat with me in here. And then as for your workout, the first thing that I like you to do is just click on the blue button that says start session, because that generates an initial piece that just takes you through the proper flow. So if you click on that, you're going to look and there's going to be a readiness survey here. It'll say sleep. And when you click on that, so I'll say okay. To my mood, I'm in a good mood. Energy, I'm good. Stress, I'm strained. And then my soreness, moderate soreness. At the top there, you'll see a little thing that says your readiness score is 3.2. What we're looking for here is that it's not necessarily that you are, a 5 out of 5. It's just a matter of we're just assessing your baseline. And so for a while, we're just going to see where you live at. And then over time, those things may fluctuate and change. And these are evaluating the things that are really outside the gym setting, right? So are you sleeping okay? Where's your stress level at? How sore are you? Where's your mood at? Those types of things change as we go along throughout our day, and work affects that, and kids affects that, and marriage affects that, and all that. So we just want to be conscious of those things. And if we see something that's really just trending in the wrong direction, that's where we'll kind of make more of an assessment there. But the first thing that pops up is your coach instructions. So you'll see some information, just kind of the general info here that'll tell you anything, a little bit more detailed about what we have going on. Sometimes that's very small chunks. Sometimes it's more in depth. As we start training, those notes kind of become a little bit more in depth because we're teaching a little bit. Click the Got It button after you're done with that. This will take you to your next section. So your next section is your general warm-up. If there's a warm-up in there. A lot of things to just kind of note here is, one, the warm-ups are typically marked as completed. Number two, you see this little green screen that says a better you there. That's actually a video link. If you click on that link, it'll pull up all of the videos that you have for the warm-up. So if it doesn't have a video, that may be something that we just don't have done yet. But typically, most everything that we have in there is going to be providing you with the warm-up information or the movement information that you need. Once you mark that as completed, then you have to manually swipe. So if I swipe to the right, or I swipe right, or I click the next button here, I can click that next button. It takes me to my first movement. Same thing, you'll see at the top here, you'll see that you have the little image of the goblet squat. If you click on that, it takes you to the big points of performance and the video. You can read that video. And the other thing, the square next to it, it'll show you what your last weights were and then your working maxes. There's nothing on this for this currently, so then that way there's not any numbers there. But if you have history of the movement and you've logged information, you'll see old reps there and old weights there. So you can see here there's nothing in here that I have logged for that. If you notice here, underneath there's some notes on the exercise. Rest 2 minutes between sets, take some warm-up sets, so on and so forth. So that's where it's giving you a little bit more details to the exercises themselves. And what I want you to do, rest time, how many sets, how many times per side, if it's a single leg or single arm movement. Then you have your reps. So you can always change these boxes to whatever reps that you do, but ideally the reps are in there. Usually the weights aren't in there unless we're doing something specific with a set amount of weight. When you click on that weight, if I used 15 pounds, I'm going to hit that log button and then it check marks those things. The other thing that's neat here is if I click back into that square, I can click autofill, say I'm going to use the same weight throughout. It just auto-populates those numbers for me, and then I can click the big check mark and it marks them all. Some people like to check it as they go. Other folks like to check them all at the end, okay? Next thing here is if we look here, we slide over and I just swipe that. I could also just go into hit the next button. we have 2 movements here. So if you notice here, there's 2 movements set up. If you look at the main summary of your workout, you can kind of see these things. So if you see B has that, just 1 movement. In the C movements, it's C1 and C2. That's what we call a superset. You'll see that throughout your movement. So you always want to make sure that when you're doing your exercises that you're not like only seeing one thing. So notice how I have 2 things here. It says perform as a superset. The instructions are above the exercises here. And so I just give a little description of what you need to do there. Again, if you have any last weights, you got a little image here. You click on that, it gives you your video. You can put in your numbers again. And then if you scroll down, you would have your numbers here. Again, another movement video here, so on and so forth. So that's our superset setting. Then I can swipe over or hit the arrow button on the next, takes me to my next movement. Everything else here is pretty well similar as each section goes, but it just takes you through. You have another superset through here, and then at the end here, we have that. Now, when we finish that, so say we finish our last section, one thing I want to note here that I didn't mention earlier is that you see these add exercise note. So under exercise note, this is something that I would put in as an additional piece. So for example, say I'm doing a standing dumbbell hammer curl and I did my weights here and I did 20 pounds. Well, maybe the 20 pounds by the 3rd set just wasn't as hard as what I thought it could be. I might in the notes put, do 25s next time. Something else I might put in there is what if my elbow hurt during this. This always gives us feedback and I see those notes. So that allows me to kind of just continue to tailor your program effectively for you. And you can put them under each individual movement. I'll show you where you can put some session notes in a second here. So say we finish that last section. When I finish this last one, it's going to take me to an option that says done training. I'm going to click on that blue button. It's going to take me to an intensity chart. So if you notice here, there's a blue circle. If I slide that circle, if I hold my finger down and just slide that circle down, it takes me to different numbers. So I can slide that to whatever intensity I want to rate that at, okay? So whatever I'm rating that at, it's just your personal assessment. There's no tricks to this. So, if you rate it too easy, I'm not going to be mad at you. It just allows me to just get feedback based on your perceived intensity of the session. And then the last thing is session reflection. So again, this is the option to put in more details about your training session that maybe don't go into the weights necessarily, whatever else. Hey, I really enjoyed this session, or really struggled to stay on track, or this workout just took me too long, whatever it may be. But once I put in those notes, I can put those notes in here and I can say, felt great. Squats were hard. Once I'm done with that, I can just hit finish session. And once I hit finish session, it gives me a summary. When you finish that session, I get notified of your results, and it'll give me some feedback there. I review those. Typically on Mondays or one of the days a week, I review all the notes and I go back in and I do all my adjustments to what I want to do for training for the client each time. Couple of just overarching things. You'll see here now that I'm back on my main screen. Since I completed that workout, you'll see a little green dot that's under the 16. That means I completed it. You see these white dots here. Those white dots mean that those are workouts available to you that just haven't been completed just yet. So you'll see those in there. And you've got again, you've got one in there for Saturday. And then if I want to see next week, now what I do is I program usually Tuesday to the following Monday. And then every Monday, you'll receive the workouts for the following week. So you'll see some overflow. So if I swipe over, you might see a dot in on that Monday coming up, or some additional dots available for any workouts that are programmed for you. One thing you'll notice here, and I bypassed this when I first set this up, but if you click start session on a day that it is not that date. So say I'm going to move a session, or I'm going to adjust when I'm going to do the workout, because I know that sometimes, I want to do this on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday and Friday, but the schedule just didn't work out. And so I need to move this to Wednesday, or I had an adjustment and I need to move this to Saturday. First of all, if you go to that day and you just click start session, if it's not the current day, it'll ask you if you want to move the session to today. So I can slide that session right there. But say it's not actually the same day, I'm moving these later or whatnot, I can go here and I can click on the actual session in these top 3 dots up in the upper right corner. and I can click Move Session. When I click Move Session, then I can change where I want to put that session. And once I move that session, I can click that I want to move it to Monday and hit Select, and that adjusts the workout to Monday, okay? So that is also an option that you can choose when you're moving these sessions. You can always make adjustments to when the sessions are done. That really helps us as well from a programming perspective, because then we know, okay, that person did not do that workout on this day, and that may change additional workouts moving forward. Hope this helps as you are navigating Train Heroic. This is a great app that we utilize for our clients, and I think it should be very conducive to helping you train to the most effective ability.